Throwback Saturday bridged Miami's past with Miami's present. Now the Redhawks turn the calendar and drive for a championship. Maggie Boyer continues to light up the board for Maria Fantanarosa's Redhawks with 7 to go. And on the ice, a split draw in South Bend. Now it's Miami and Michigan. All the details next on Miami Magazine. Here we go.
Welcome to Miami Magazine on the Miami Sports Network from IMG College on ONN. Presented by Dickerson Distributing and Anheuser-Busch. Bringing you Bud Light. G&J Pepsi-Cola Bottler of Hamilton. Bringing you Pepsi. Butler County Visitors Bureau. Online at DestinationButlerCounty.com. And Koenig Equipment. Nothing runs like a deer. And now your host, Tim Bray.
The race through the West continues. We welcome you into Miami Magazine. I'm Tim Bray. The Redhawks are on the floor in men's and women's basketball and also in hockey on the ice, and we'll cover it all in the next half hour. And we'll start things off with the head coach of the Miami men's basketball team, head coach Charlie Coles. Boy, they had a tough one last Saturday against Western Michigan, a game that was Throwback Saturday, Coach. You look at that game, it went to overtime, great theater, and it was good to see those old uniforms out on those guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, I seen my old number out there. And I think Alan Roberts did it justice. But it was good. Anytime you can show Miami's rich tradition, it's a very good thing.
Yeah, no question about that. And Julian Mavunga wore the 32 of Wally Zerbiak pretty well. He wore it proudly, as Wally said on the air. He challenged him, give him some karma, and he did for 2 halves and just a little bit into that overtime.
Yeah, and Julian was playing with, it's funny, he wore Wally's jersey, and he had the same thing Wally had in the pros, plantar fasciitis.
Yes.
And that's a very, very painful foot disease. Mm-hmm. And Julian had to play in overtime with that, and he had to play up at Central. So he had to play 2 games in less than 48 hours with a bad foot. And just so his luck would have it, he had to go in overtime. So while I was a little bit critical of him in overtime, the more I thought about it, the more I've got it when I see him, is to tell him, thank you, son, for going as hard and as long as you could go.
Yeah, no doubt, because they were doubling down on him every time you turned around, and they were putting so much pressure on him. You had your chances.
Oh, yeah, we had our chances, but I don't think we were ready to finish, Tim. You got to be ready to finish, and again, this is an excuse, and I won't use it anymore, but our finisher wasn't on the floor.
Right.
And he's the guy that, boy, he loved those situations because he could get a rebound.
Yes,
and one time the ball went up and he hit the rim, and I unconsciously thought, where's he at? I forgot. I mean that. I was buried into the game, but he wasn't there. But I will give our guys credit. I just hope that we can take the first half and get rid of the second half.
Right.
And if we do that, we're going to have a good ball club in February.
Yeah, in February, you turn the calendar, and we're speaking of Antonio Ballard, by the way, because he's lost with a wrist injury, and the guys have taken this responsibility now, and you turn the calendar to February. You got Eastern Michigan on Saturday. As we said, we're going through the West still, games that are right there, good opportunities for wins.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to say good opportunities to play good, which will produce wins.
Okay.
Because I think if the West boys hear that, they've got a complex over there. Because for about 3 or 4 years, they've been terrible, but they're getting better.
Right.
And we've seen that on Saturday. And so Eastern, as we talked about before the show, they're always going to be dangerous as long as they have Brandon Baldry. And I call him Bones Baldry because he needs a nickname as good as he is.
Yeah, double-double is what he averaged a year ago. How do you take him and just neutralize him?
I think you got to have a man and a half on him. I think he requires that. He's a kid that I've admired ever since he enrolled at Eastern. I've told him that because he works so hard. And I know his coach tells me that he's the hardest worker on the team. So when you face those guys, they have the ability to carry their whole team.
And no question about that. And you have to find some help for Julian now, and Nick did a pretty good job of that, but there's still something there.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, Tim, and you're the first to hear this. And I'm serious. I'm thinking about getting one of our big guys in there at times and having Nick Winbush go back to his old position.
Good idea.
That forward position.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to tip you off to something. You may see a little of the big Z on defense.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Coach, for joining us. Good luck this Saturday.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
Among guys, Budweiser has become a kind of currency. Helping a friend move gets you a six-pack. Up 3 flights? That's more. Dog sitting for the weekend? Well, that depends on the dog. Riding in the middle seat has its own benefits. The last wing is worth 1. The celery's worthless. Flying blind into a double date for your buddy earns you a case. Though, on occasion, you may owe him. So pay up with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Awesome again.
Oh my God, this is really good.
That's why your parties are the best.
You should do this for a living.
He's right. You've always been like the best cook.
Ever thought of going to Le Cordon Bleu?
Seriously, you should.
Yeah, you could train with all those experienced chef instructors.
Yeah.
You're an artist. Go work with other
You
artists.
should call the Cordon Bleu today.
Call right now.
Call them.
Seriously.
Do it.
You know you want to.
If you call, you get a complimentary career guide.
Call the Cordon Bleu campus at 1-800-664-0438. 1-800-664-0438.
Pepsi Max, please. Good song.
Great song.
So, Pepsi Max has 0 calories, huh?
Yep.
How many calories?
0.
0?
0.
What are you doing?
YouTube.
Oh.
Pepsi Max. 0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Let's check the chart with Tim Bray, presented by McCullough Hyde Memorial Hospital, a tradition of caring, a new vision of health.
Welcome back to Miami Magazine. Time to turn our attention to women's basketball at Miami. And with us is the head coach of the Miami women's team, Maria Fantana-Rosa. Coach, you guys had a tough week, but a competitive week, especially against Eastern Michigan, a game everybody saw here on ONN. Talk a little bit about just how competitive your basketball team is, being so young against some of these top-tier teams.
Great point, Tim. And really, we continue to remind ourselves that they're staying competitive even though we're going through a losing streak right now. And that's huge. That tells you a lot about their heart and character. We're not experienced enough to be doing everything well yet, but at the same time, if we can stay competitive, we're going to start to be on our home floor a little bit more at this part of the year. So I think that's an important thing to remember, to keep reminding our team.
Let's talk a little bit some of the baby steps that this team has to take. I mean, you have to, think about that when the entire bench is first-year players. How many, let's say, baby steps have you taken?
Well, I think we've taken a lot. Where we're focusing right now is how much more productive we could be. Because even our starting group with 3 juniors and 2 sophomores, they don't have that much experience. We know how much we develop from our freshman to our sophomore year, our sophomore to our junior year, and it's a different confidence. But when everyone off your bench, you're asking them to spark, everyone that comes in is a first-year player, they're tired. They don't know how to give more. And we've been trying to keep it basic. We've been trying to talk about the defense and the rebounding, but we've recruited a lot of offensive-minded players. So now we're going to start to transition, now with our homestand, to start to transition more to talk about what we're good at on offense as well, to get that confidence spark that way, and hope the competitive nature of these players makes our defense and our rebounding better.
Well, when you look at a game like Eastern Michigan, that team seemed, and I use the word on the air, smothered you. you. I mean, they had that kind of defensive pressure.
They did. And Tim, 2 years ago, Anne-Marie Gilbert had the same team I have. Young, aggressive, eager to learn. And then last year they played a lot better. This year, they're an upperclassmen team, seniors and juniors, and they work together. They have a pride in their defense. They're the quickest hands we've played as far as quick athletes, and they get easy points. And if you look at our total points and you subtract our turnovers that led to layups for them and rebound putbacks, they only scored 30 points on us. Now, that doesn't make me feel good about our turnovers, but you have to compliment them that that's the part of their game that they're good at. And we need to continue to not only focus on the part of our game that we get better at to keep moving us forward, but then to scout adjust as we continue to get older, to scout adjust to say, we're not going to give them easy points off our turnovers.
And one of the gals that did a tremendous job and has all year, Kirsten Olowinski, another double-double. She loves playing against Eastern,
she
especially
does.
all those rebounds.
She does. And Tim, she's a worker. That's a blue-collar job to have to rebound. And she's keeping us alive with her offensive rebounds, and then they're fouling her, and she's hitting free throws. And towards the end of that game, it was under 4 minutes. It was a 2-point ball game. And that's one of the better teams on the west part of this conference. So if we're in games like that just because of the blue-collar work, Kirsten's going to make everyone else continue to feel more and more confident, and hopefully that continues to get contagious.
All right, you got another couple games against the West this week, and on Saturday, Toledo. My goodness, they've avoided the stumble so far. Only Central Michigan. They're a pretty good basketball team.
Once again, Tim, a senior-dominated team. And Goodall, Shafir, they are just very confident players. Tricia Cullip does a great job. They're very fundamental on both offense and defense. So this will be the team. As you know, they beat Kent State and Bowling Green already. This will be the team that's not only confident, but is the overall package of both inside out, offense and defense. So our work will be cut out for us on Saturday.
And somehow you got to stay close to those top-tier teams.
We do. And I think if we can continue to be in those games and knock off one or two here and there, by tournament time, our players know. They know how close these games are. And if they don't, I'm going to put it up in our locker room so they know.
All right, that is it's a good sign. Good luck. You got friendly rims coming up here in the next couple of weeks. All right, that is head coach Maria Fantana-Rosa. We appreciate her being with us. Stay with us. More of Miami Magazine straight ahead.
I'm Eric, and this is my Miami experience. When a faculty member takes interest in me, it feels incredible, actually. Miami's reputation has always been to excel, and Miami has taken myself to the next level.
Miami universities are amongst the most inquisitive students I've ever experienced. They think outside the box, they think of new ideas.
As a freshman, I applied for a University Research Award, which I got, so I'm studying bladder development in mice. And I work both with the mice themselves and with mouse stem cells, which allow us kind of more control over the genes that we're working with.
One of the most amazing projects is the marketing capstone, and that was in London, and that was the most challenging 6 weeks of my life. I'm on the synchronized skating team here at Miami, and it's really neat to see that every individual contributes such a unique characteristic to the whole team.
A world of experiences. The Miami Experience. Miami University.
So glad you're with us on Miami Magazine. We'll talk hockey in our next segment with head coach Enrico Blasi. But coming up in this segment, we've got the Miami Sports Calendar and our Miami All Access piece on the undefeated Miami tennis team. It's all presented by Kroger. Here's Steve Baker.
This is Miami All Access, presented by Kroger. Kroger, the exclusive marketplace of the Miami Redhawks. This is Miami All Access, presented by Kroger. I'm Steve Baker, and today we talk Miami tennis. And while the snow has been flying outside, inside, Miami tennis has been preparing for their upcoming season. I'm joined by the head coach, Anca Dumitrescu. And Anca, two-time defending MAC champions this team is, and the onus has already been put on you as the coaches have picked you to win it again this season.
Yes, well, we just try to take it one match at a time, and we got a lot of things to work on by the time the tournament comes around. But we're looking forward to be challenged and to good competition in the conference. I'm sure we'll face some great teams, and that can only make us better.
Now, I know you put a lot of emphasis on training
in the off season? They've been in the weight room at the Growth Center working out and building up some physicality as well.
Yes, we certainly emphasized conditioning this year as one of our key areas of improvement. And as you look at the highest levels of tennis, being able to defend the court efficiently and also be able to execute in the transition play is largely due to your ability to move around the court. So we've been working on that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the team individually. Some of the standouts on this team, and let's start with Anastasia Drakova. Tell us what she brings to the team.
Well, Drak is just a great striker of the ball, but more than that, she's a great competitor. She has come through in the past for this team in key moments and has really raised the entire level of the team. I'm looking forward to her to help us again this year in singles and doubles.
And let's talk next about Stephanie Danasis.
Well, Stephanie is also a great competitor, and she's very talented, and I think she's starting to understand how to use her talent well on the court. She's developed a lot over the fall, and I'm looking forward to watch her compete this spring.
And another one of the outstanding players on this team, Megan Martzoff. Talk about Megan.
Megan, she's just she has a great personality, and so she's one of those players that you can never tell if she's winning or losing when she's playing. And so that composure has been one of her biggest weapons on court, as well as her ability to change the rhythm of the play and never give the opponent the same shot twice.
Tell us about some of the other players that may contribute throughout the season. I know you have some younger players that you're looking to contribute as well.
Yes, well, we have 3 freshmen this year, and we have Ricky, who's our junior. We don't have any sophomores on this team right now, and we also have Jessica, who's also a junior. And so each one of those players can contribute majorly for this team. The freshmen are improving. They have a lot to learn. But they have great energy out there and great work ethic, and Ricky and Jess being the juniors, they're a little bit more experienced, and I think that they can help us out a lot this spring as well.
Now, I know winning the Mid-American Conference is always a goal, 2-time defending champs, but listening to you talk earlier, there's a bigger goal out there, and that's getting ranked and hopefully getting a higher seed in the NCAA tournament if you should get there.
Yes, certainly, and so but the biggest goal, I would say, is just that we improve every day. And if we can get a little bit better every day, ultimately the success will come. And so our focus is on that, on the daily improvement, getting better as a team, playing better tennis and more consistent. And if we do that on a daily basis, if we bring that effort in practice, our success will come against ranked teams and we will be ranked.
Anka, best of luck to you throughout
Thank
the
you.
season. Anka Dumitrescu, the head coach of Miami Tennis, and make sure you get out and check them out this season as they defend that Mid-American Conference champion. That is this Miami All Access. I'm Steve Baker.
Thank you for watching Miami All Access, presented by the exclusive marketplace of the Red Hawks, Kroger. For digital coupons and more, check out Kroger.com. Welcome to the City Barbecue Sports Update. For your next event or tailgate party, serve authentic hickory smoked barbecue. City Barbecue offers full-service catering or delivery and setup for groups of 25 to 5,000. Choose from pulled pork, beef brisket, ribs, and our homemade sides. Call City Barbecue Catering at 513-490-2506 or visit citybbq.com.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
The taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain. You don't have to be a world-class athlete to receive world-class care. Wellington Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, the Tri-State's most trusted orthopedic practice for more than 30 years, featuring specialty care in sports medicine and comprehensive orthopedic needs. Plus, 3 after-hours walk-in clinics to fit your busy schedule. Wellington Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, with 7 convenient locations to serve you.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the 6-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the Flock of Geese, the Marsupial, the Sherpa, the Claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Hi, I'm Tom Brenneman for CBTS. Does your technology room look like this? If so, it could put your business at risk. Make CBTS your data center provider of choice. By locating your technology in one of CBTS's premier facilities, you gain a secure environment with power and network. For an affordable monthly fee, start protecting your business today. Call 513-841-6800. CBTS, data centers for business.
Now it's time for the game plan, delivered by CBTS, Technology Solutions for Business.
Back on Miami Magazine, time to turn our attention to Miami hockey as the Red Hawks had a weekend at Notre Dame with a draw on both nights. Shootout win, shootout loss, and now back home at Steve Cady Arena to play the Michigan Wolverines. Head coach Enrico Blasi is with us. And Coach, a tough series at Notre Dame, but how would you characterize the weekend?
Well, I thought 2 good teams going at it, and something was going to give, and nothing gave all weekend long. But I thought we played well for the most part. Anytime you play a skilled team like Notre Dame, they're going to force you to make mistakes, and anytime you play a skilled team like Miami, they're going to force you to make mistakes. So I thought Friday night was a great college hockey game. It's really what college hockey is all about, and showcasing the skill that both teams had. And Saturday afternoon was a different tale. It was tighter checking. I think both teams were a little bit tired with the early start, and we were able to come out with a tie again, and some critical points on the weekend, and hopefully we can continue to do that down the stretch.
Yeah, if we go back to Friday night a little bit, Pat Cannone scored the clincher in the shootout. Andy Mealy had a big day, a big night with 4 points. Riley Smith got it going. You had your offense clicking.
Well, no question. Again, 2 skilled teams going at it, and both sets of forwards that have that high skill were showcased on Friday night. It was a great game to watch. Not really a fun game to coach. I'm not sure there was much coaching going on, to tell you the truth. But we were glad that we got the extra point on Friday, and we were down on Saturday, and we were able to come back with our special teams doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, you think about Andy and all his ice time, and Carter for that matter. How do you keep the pressure on the opponents? Because you've got 2 of the best in the entire country there. And do you try to shorten their shifts? Do you double shift them? How do you do that?
Well, you just keep putting them out there. Andy's one of those guys that can go all day. He's in great shape, can skate forever, and seems to have all sorts of gears. He can, you think he's slow, and all of a sudden he puts it in a second and third, and then he's got another gear after that. And Carter can go all day as well, and they're both in great shape. And so we try to put them out there as much as we can and give them enough rest.
Talk about how this is. You got 6 to go. Michigan this weekend. Obviously, no wiggle room now.
Well, every weekend is so crucial now. Our focus and our culture in our locker room is one day at a time, and I think our focus will be on preparation first, and then worry about the weekend and the first game on Friday. I think teams will get caught up in all the hype and we just got to be ready to play and stay focused.
Yeah, it's good to have Michigan in your building. I mean, and there's no question that they stumbled against Michigan State. You try to avoid those stumbles. They lost at the Joe. You bring them here. What kind of matchups are we going to see? Is this going to be a very physical hockey game?
Well, it's become quite a rivalry between the two schools. Obviously, the epic game last year in Fort Wayne, the regionals, I went to 2 overtimes. Believe you me, they have that in the back of their minds. And this is going to be physical. It's going to be fast skating, a lot of skill on both teams. Goaltenders are really good. Hopefully we can outscore them by 1 and come out on top. But it's going to be an unbelievable series, a showcase for national TV both nights, and it should be a fun weekend.
It sounds like a worth the ticket type of series. No
well,
question.
no question.
Yeah.
Anytime Michigan comes to town, they're going to bring everything, and we'll be ready. This is one of those weekends where you don't really need to say much.
That's for sure. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, that is head coach Enrico Blasi, and that's going to do it for this edition of Miami Magazine. For our entire crew here in Oxford, we appreciate you watching, and thanks for being right there with us.
This has been Miami Magazine, presented by Dickerson Distributing and Anheuser-Busch, bringing you Bud Light. G&J Pepsi-Cola Bottler of Hamilton, bringing you Pepsi. Butler County Visitors Bureau, online at destinationbutlercounty.com. And Koenig Equipment, nothing runs like a deer. Miami Magazine is a presentation of the Miami Sports Network from IMG College.